The Aramaic and Palestinian Targum. We're reading Numbers, chapter 28. And the Lord spake with Moshe, saying, Instruct the children of Israel, and say to them, The priests may eat of my oblation, the bread of the order of my table. But that which you offer upon my altar no man may eat. Is there not a fire that will consume it? And it shall be acceptable before me as a pleasant smell. Sons of Israel, my people, be admonished to offer it from the firstlings on the Sabbath, an oblation before me in its time. Jerusalem text. Instruct the children of Israel and say to them, My oblation, the bread of the order of my table, that which you offer upon the altar. Is there not a fire that will consume it, to be received from you before me for a pleasant smell? Sons of Israel, my people, be admonished to offer it before me in its season. And say to them, This is the order of the oblations you shall offer before the Lord. 2 lambs of the year, unblemished, daily, a perpetual burnt offering. 1 lamb thou shalt perform in the morning to make atonement for the sins of the night. And the 2nd lamb thou shalt perform between the suns, to atone for the sins of the day. And the 10th of 3 seahs of wheaten flour, as a mincher mingled with beaten olive oil, the 4th of a hin. It is a perpetual burnt offering, such as was ordained to be offered at Mount Sinai, to be received with favour as an oblation before the Lord. And its liberation shall be the 4th of a hin for 1 lamb. From the vessels of the house of the sanctuary shall it be outpoured, a liberation of old wine. Jerusalem text. From the vessels of the house of holiness it shall be poured out an oblation of choice wine unto the name of the Lord. End of Jerusalem text. But if old wine may not be found, bring wine of 40 days to pour out before the Lord. And the 2nd lamb thou shalt perform between the suns, or between the 2 evenings, according to the presentation of the morning. And according to its oblation shalt thou make the offering, that it may be accepted with favour before the Lord. But on the day of the Sabbath, 2 lambs of the year without blemish. And 2 tenths of flour mixed with olive oil for the mincher, and its liberation. On the Sabbath thou shalt make a Sabbath burnt sacrifice in addition to the perpetual burnt sacrifice and its libation. And at the beginning of your months you shall offer a burnt sacrifice before the Lord, 2 young bullocks without mixture, 1 ram, lambs of the year 7, unblemished, and 3 tenths of flour mingled with oil for the mincher for 1 bullock, 2 tenths of flour with oil for the mincher of the 1 ram, and 1 tenth of flour with olive oil for the mincher for each lamb of the burnt offering, an oblation to be received with favour before the Lord, and for the libation to be offered with them, the 1/2 of a bin for a bullock, the 1/3 of a bin for the ram, and the 1/4 of a bin for a lamb, of the wine of grapes. This burnt sacrifice shall be offered at the beginning of every month, in the time of the removal of the beginning of every month in the year. and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering before the Lord at the disappearing of the moon. With the perpetual burnt offering shalt thou perform with its libation. And in the month of Nisan, on the 14th day of the month, is the sacrifice of the Pascha before the Lord. On the 15th day of this month is a festival. 7 days shall unleavened be eaten. On the first day of the festival, a holy convocation. No servile work shall you do, but offer an oblation of a burnt sacrifice before the Lord. 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the year, unblemished, shall you have. And their minches of wheat flour, mingled with olive oil, 3/10 for each bullock, 2/10 for the ram, and a single lamb 1/10. So for the 7, and 1 kid of the goats to make an atonement for you. Beside the burnt sacrifice of the morning, the perpetual burnt sacrifice, you shall make these offerings. According to these oblations of the first day, you shall do daily through the 7 days of the festival. That's the festival of unleavened bread, and the Pascha is the festival of Passover. It is the bread of the oblation which is received with favour before the Lord. It shall be made beside the perpetual burnt offering with its libation. And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. No servile work shall you do. Likewise, on the day of your firstlings, when you offer the gift for the new produce before the Lord in your ingatherings, after the 7 weeks are completed, you shall have a holy convocation. No servile work shall you do, but offer a burnt sacrifice to be received with favour before the Lord. 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the year, the minture of wheaten flour mingled with olive oil, 3/10 for each bullock, 2/10 for the ram, 1/10 to a lamb. So for the 7 lambs, 1 kid of the goats, to make an atonement for you. Beside the perpetual burnt offering you shall make these. They shall be unblemished with their oblation of wine. So yeah, it's just really going through Passover, unleavened bread, the new moon, Pentecost. This can be compared to Leviticus chapter 23. Okay, thank you. This is the end of the reading.